Dauenhauer, who is 5th on the grid, remember, the championship leader for this one. If he drops his 2 worst scores as things stand, he's dropping a 6th position and he's dropping a 3rd position, which means that all he's left with are 1sts and 2nds. That not easy to overtake. What can the number 50 Hendricks Ford do in this one? Or could we see Vladimir's Choices scoop up a victory? And if so, that would be his first career win in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. If it's Nave Talor from the outside of the front row of the grid, that would also be Nave's first career win as well. Are we going to have a new name added to the winners list in EuroNASCAR 2? Well, we did at Brands Hatch earlier on this season when the London-based Indian Advait Yoda claimed his first career win. Are we going to see either of these front guys on the front row of the grid claim a win here? We'll have to wait and see. We'll find out in 15 laps time, because buckle up everybody. For the first time in EuroNASCAR 2 this weekend, we're about to get round 9 of the 2021 NASCAR Whelen Euro Series underway at Circuit Zolder. And as they head up towards Erst, which is turn number 1, it looks like Vladimir's Choices is just behind Nave Talor, who's going to sweep his way around the outside at turn number 1 for Nave, but that will give him the inside line for turn number 2. And is he going to be able to pick up the lead of the race from Vladimir's Choices? Indeed he has, and it is going to be Martin Dubeck that has slotted himself through into 3rd position at this stage. So Nave Talor leads, Vladimir's Choices in 2nd place, Martin Dubeck there in 3rd place. It looks as though Tobias Dauenhauer is already up into 4th position, the championship leader, and looking to try and set about the progress that he needs to make. But they head down the straight and in towards the braking area for the cleaner chicane for the first time. Still trying to get the Hoosier tyres at the all run up to temperature, but pure racing in the early stages as they bounce off the curbs and try and slug it out with each other. Whilst up front it is Nave Talor that leads the race, but Choices for 2nd now, coming under pressure by the look of things. Manages to hang on to it still. There were problems in the background for Paolo Valeri, who I think caught a little bit of gravel on the exit of the cleaner chicane. So his number 8, Victor Motorsport Chevy, has dropped towards the tail end of the field now by the look of things. But everybody is safely through the first half a lap, and as they head in towards the braking area for Boulderback booked for the first time, you can see this is the opportunity. Good heavy braking area, plenty of opportunity to try and squeeze your way through. A little bit of contact further down through the order. Have to work out who that might have been. I think it might have been Justin Coots possibly, but Nave Talor is just starting already to pull away. The good thing is for Nave is that he's already got daylight between himself and Vladimir's Choices. So Chevy leads Ford, I think, at this stage as they come over the start-finish line. Yeah, so Chevy, Ford. Next up at the Chevys is going to be way down through the order by the look of things. But remember, Nave Talor only did 6 laps in qualifying on his tyres. Vladimir's Choices did 13 laps in qualifying on his tyres, so they are already slightly more second-hand than the race leaders, who has opened up after just 1 lap of racing, a 1.5 second lead over the Cypriot driver. So turning their way out of Canal Bocht and starting to head down the straight. That's the number 54 car, so that's Ariana Casoli, who is coming under pressure from Paolo Valeri, who's looking to try and sneak his way back through again. Dust in the background tells you that someone's run off wide coming out of Lucien Bianchi Bocht. So there goes Paolo Valeri past Ariana Casoli, who is doing good things as ever again at the wheel of the number 54 Cal Racing car. She's the reigning legend champion. She finished 11th in the overall standings last year. She was the lady champion back in 16 and 2019 as well, and is fighting for that lady championship this year with Lena Leubnegger, who is behind her on the grid by a couple of places now. So up towards the braking area for Boulderberg booked. Thread their way. There's number 27, that's Pierluigi Veronese. He is down in 13th position at the moment, started 12th, lost 1 place on the opening lap, did the Italian, at the wheel of his Double V Racing machine, team which he co-owns, Double V Racing. And you can see he's a little bit adrift of the next cars ahead of him, which I think is going to be Leonardo Colavita, sits ahead of him on the road. But for Nave Talor, all things are going as he wishes at the moment. He is now 2 seconds up the road from Vladimir's Choices. Martin Dubeck still in 3rd. You can see everybody else just filing their way round through Erst. I don't think anybody has had any problems at all, other than Francesco Garisto on the first lap, because he did come into the pit lane briefly, the number 42 car. Not quite sure what happened to the number 42 car in the hands of the 18-year-old Italian. So here's our race leader, Gap of almost 2 seconds between himself and Vladimiras Choitzis. Choitzis not able to really break away from Martin Dubeck. What of the progress of Tobias Dauenhauer, the championship leader? Well, the German has slotted himself through into 4th on the first lap, but has sort of plateaued there now and is stuck there a little bit. Largely because he's right onto the boot lid of his Hendricks Motorsport teammate, Martin Dubeck. And they'll be also conscious that those are the 2 cars that are fighting it out for the team's championship as well. The number 50 and the number 7 from Hendricks are 1st and 2nd in terms of the team's championship scoring for this year. So out of Balderberg Bucht, through the little kink at Jochenrindt, and then up towards the braking area for the Jackie X chicane comes Nave Talor. This time through, has he pulled away anymore? I'm not sure he has, you know. I think Vladimiras Choitzis has stuck with him to a degree this time through. The gap was 1.942 seconds 1st to 2nd place. But as they come over the start-finish line this time through, Nave Talor leads, and the gap back is 2.3. Now it's come out again. It's come out by another 0.4 of a second. You can see the pit crew urging on the drivers as they head up towards Erst once more. Tobias Dauenhauer still bottled up behind Martin Dubeck. Everybody else feeding their way through, with Advait Diodor in 5th place. Melvin de Groot sitting there in 6th place. Levi Lindecantu in 7th place. Max Lanther in 8th. Then Simon Palatti, Justin Coots wrap up the top 10 currently. As for the subcategories, well, leading the Legend Trophy is that car there at the moment, Melvin de Groot. He's also leading the Rookie Trophy as well, because not only is he of a certain age, i.e. he's aged over 40, which makes him eligible for the Legend Trophy, but he's also in his 1st season of NASCAR racing, so he's also eligible for the Rookie Trophy. So he's leading both of those subcategories at the moment, running in 6th position overall. And Melvin will be hugely, hugely pleased with the way things are going at the moment, the 44-year-old Dutchman. Made his debut in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series just a round or so ago, whilst he was also concentrating on things like European and Benelux-based Renault Clios over the course of the last few years. So we'll see how he gets on. For 2nd and 3rd, it's still going the way of Vladimiras Choitzis from Martin Dubeck, but the number 1 Academy Alex Caffey Motorsport Ford is just doing enough to stay ahead of the Hendricks number 7 machine at the moment in the hands of the Czech driver. So it's Israeli that leads, Cypriot driver 2nd, Czech driver 3rd, it's a German 4th, an Indian 5th, the Dutchman 6th, the Finnish driver 7th, an Italian 8th at the moment, and a Belgian driver 9th. So I think that's 9 different nationalities in the top 9 at this stage of the race. And Nave Talor is being cheered on like crazy by the Not Only Motorsport team. So side by side for 2nd and 3rd place. Did Martin Dubeck get the overlap there? Because he tried round the outside at Erst. That will give him the inside line for Sterrenbach Bucht if he can make it through. But it's going to be almost at the exit of Kanalbach when we'll see as to whether we've had the change for 2nd and 3rd place. They are still side by side, but this time surely Martin Dubeck has unlocked the door. Yet through he goes up into 3rd position. But Choitzis is still not giving it up. There's almost contact between the pair of them. Hendricks Ford through as well. So Choitzis down into 4th position from 2nd, and is now going to have to regather his thoughts, and that has played beautifully into the hands of Nave Talor, who surely now is going to increase his lead even more. It's now gone up to 3.6 seconds at the start of this lap between our race-leading number 90 car and and Martin Dubeck, who is now up into 2nd place. There's also a snapped brake you could spot from Choitzis there in towards the Villeneuve chicane. That will not do his tyres a great deal of good either. So there goes the number 23 car. That's Levi Lindecantu. He's just outside of the top 6 currently. The other car I want to try and keep an eye on is whether the number 69 car of Melvin de Groot can squeeze his way through and past Advait Diodor. That's the yellow and black car of Diodor. Behind him is the white and light blue and pink and yellow machine. There goes the Not Only Motorsport crew cheering on their charge again, Nave Talor, who leads now by 5.3 seconds. So it did work for Nave Talor. I thought he would have increased his lead with all of that squabbling that was going on. So Talor leads Dubeck from Dauenhauer and Choitzis, the top 4. Advait Diodor still sticking his elbows out and trying to palm away the aspirations of the number 69 car of Melvin de Groot. This is Yevgen Sokolovsky, who's now started to catch up with the car that's ahead of him, which looks as though it is going to be Francesco Garisto, I think, that's ahead of him, but Garisto is off the lead lap, having had his problems earlier on. So That is Francesco Garisto, I think, with still a little bit of damage to the number 42 car. Now for Ariana Casserly and the Lady Trophy, this is for the lead of the Lady Trophy now, because Alina Leubniger, who drives for Solaris Motorsport, is right on the coattails of the Italian and is pushing hard here. In terms of the championship, Alina Leubniger has a bit of an advantage over Ariana Casserly in terms of the scoring, but in terms of this race, Casserly is just ahead of her main rival for the Lady Trophy. So this is a good little squabble that's going on for 20th and 21st position overall in the race at the moment. It's just the Italian ahead of the Austrian. Of course, Ariana Casserly has been around the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series for a good number of years. Since, 2017, she was runner-up in the series. She was the champion in 2016, so it's been the best part of 5 years in the series, whereas Alina Leubniger is in her rookie season and is pushing hard here. Is there anything she's going to be able to do? She's having a quick think about it, but discretion the better part of valour there. Opted not to try anything. Heading in towards the Villeneuve chicane, because we're only on lap 7 at the moment, so there's just about over half of the race still to go to try and work out where it might be better to pass Ariana Casserly. But a good fight it is for the lead of the Lady Trophy. And they will have the winner of this on the podium. And now she's trying around the outside, might run out of room through Boulderback Booked, and is still trying to brave it out around the outside at Jocko Rindt, but still not quite going to work. They're now both getting caught by Eric Quintal as well. Back to the race leader. And, well, the lead advantage is 5.5 seconds between Navet Talor and Martin Dubeck. Now, Navet Talor did 6 laps in qualifying. Martin Dubeck only did 6 laps in qualifying, so arguably first and second place are on the same wear rate on their tyres, depending on how hard they've pushed in the early stages of this race. And last time through, it was a 1 minute 38.0 from Navet Talor. It's a 1 minute 38.2 from that car there, Martin Dubeck, so he's not really catching anyway. Tobias Dauenhauer, the championship leader, is in 3rd position. So that would still mean if he dropped his 2 worst scores, he'd be dropping a 6th and a 3rd, because at the moment a 6th and a 3rd is his worst 2 scores of the season. Well, you can either drop the 3rd place from Valencia or drop this one if he stays where he is. Matters not. The outcome would still be the same. And he's certainly in a very strong position. And I would say, regardless of what happens this weekend, he'll be leading the points as we head towards the finals weekend and the double points finals weekend at Autodromo Vallelunga in a few weekends' time. For the moment, he's got his Hendricks teammate ahead of him and is going to be pushing hard still to see whether he can just close that agonising gap that's there, about 9/10 of a second. Vladimir's Choice is still in 4th, but now getting caught by the Brands Hatch winner at the wheel of the number 56 car, Advait Dioda there. So can Advait look to try and close up a little bit more? He was the Elite Club champion back in 2018. He finished 4th in the championship back in 2019. And he is looking to try and close up on the 4th place car. So there goes the race leader. There goes 2nd and 3rd, the 2 Hendricks Motorsport cars. Look to the background and you'll see Vladimir's Choice is getting caught by the yellow machine in the hands of Advait Dioda, who made that little bit of history at Brands Hatch, becoming the first Indian driver to go towards victory lane in a NASCAR race. Leaping over the curbs goes Livi Lintakantu, who is 2nd of the rookies in the field at the moment, so that's another battle that's worth watching out for. Number 69 is the leading rookie, which is Melvin de Groot, who goes through the middle of the Villeneuve chicane, not really under any pressure either when he did that, then runs out wide, coming out of the corner, and we're going to have a change for the rookie lead here, because through goes Livi Lintakantu and picks up the lead of the rookie category. As a result of those 2 more mistakes, small mistakes from Melvin de Groot, through has gone Livi Lintakantu and picks up the lead of the Lucky Trophy. So great driving from him, and for Melvin de Groot, yeah, there's problems for that car. I wonder if it's got a front left puncture or something. It's just not turning, is it? He tries to turn left and it just won't have it at the moment. So I think we might see that Team Bleaky Mole and number 69 car dive for the pit lane at the end of this lap, which would be an enormous shame for Melvin de Groot, because he's had such a great qualifying session. 2nd and 3rd place, the 2 Hendricks cars are still reasonably close together. There's 0.9 of a second between the pair of them still, which is what it was on the previous lap. So neither Martin Dubeck is able to pull away in 2nd place or Tobias Dauenhauer close up. Now both losing touch ever more with Navet Talor, who is potentially on course for a first career win if he could stay where he is at the moment, the 2 times former Israeli karting champion. Still only 20 years of age is Navet. He finished 14th in EuroNASCAR 2 in his debut season in 2019. He only did 4 races with us last year. That was the finals super speed weekend at Valencia, Circuit Ricardo Tormo in Valencia in Spain. He did all 4 races there, but he's in for the full season so far this season. And Nave, if he could claim a win, not only would it be his first career win, it would be his first podium this year. And off has gone Choices, I'm afraid. Big mistake going through the Villeneuve chicane. Loses the tail end of the car, spins into the tyre stack that's there on the apex. That's not going to have done his car any good. There's gravel all over the road, and there's a tyre stack in the middle of the circuit now as well, which also might need the attention of our marshals. But with the cars spread out at this point of the race and a big old heavy tyre stack to move, that could present a problem potentially. Has caused a problem for Simon Palat, I'm afraid. He's had a mistake in that area, maybe just falling off on the gravel that's deposited itself onto the tarmac. And as for the tyre stack, we'll have to wait and see as to what's become of that with everything that's been going on. So poor old Simon Palat there has now lost a place. Through has gone Max Lancer at the wheel of the Cal Racing number 88 car. And off has gone Levi Lintercantu. It looks as though nobody wants the rookie win here. So we've already had problems for the number 69 car of Melvin de Groot. We've now got problems, I'm afraid to say, for Levi Lintercantu as well, who is off. So that should now hand the lead of the rookie trophy to the number 9 car of Leonardo Colavita. So fantastic stuff by the marshals. Try and get the thing bouncing quickly as you can. There's a gap in the traffic. Lots of smoke billowing from the bodywork that's rubbing on Vladimir Choices' car. That is not going to do the Hoosier tyre much good at all. Hoosier provide a fantastic tyre to us, but there's only so much you can do when bodywork is rubbing on it. And whilst the tyre isn't liking it at the moment, in another couple of laps, it is really not going to like the fact that bodywork is rubbing on it. So they're heading down into that yellow flag zone where, oh, fantastic work by the marshals. Tyre stack is roughly where it ought to be. Not quite on its side, but at least it means that the cars can't cut that apex anymore now. As a racing driver, if the tyre stack isn't there, you're always going to use that little bit of curb that's available to you once it's been shifted out of harm's way. So Talor leads from Dubek and Dauenhauer. Advait Dioda is now up into 4th with the problems for Vladimir Choices, who is still struggling around with that bodywork rubbing currently. 10 laps now completed and only 5 away from a first career victory potentially, and still has enough daylight. The gap first to second is still 5.7 seconds between the number 90 Nave Talor car and the number 7 Hendricks machine of Martin Dubek that sits there in second place. So it's Chevy from Ford, and I think Pierluigi Veronese should now make his way through the order. That'll be another Ford that's up there. The wheel of the number 77 car down in something like 8th place potentially, or 9th, because he is now also dropping down through the order. So it looks as though Jules Linster has also got problems, and I think the number 77 is being parked out on track somewhere. No such problems at the of the field though. Martin Dubek still pushing hard in second place. He's got a couple of seconds now between himself and his teammate from Hendricks Motorsport, the number 50 of Tobias Dauenhauer. Lots of bodywork still hanging off the 42. That's the car of Francesco Caristo, the 18-year-old Italian who came into the pit lane at the end of lap number 1, really, and had to have bits of bodywork ripped off it. It means that stand for Francesco Caristo, who had qualified a little bit lower down than I expected him to anyway. He was 14th quickest in qualifying. I would have expected to have seen him towards the top 10, if not inside, but hasn't quite been the weekend that he's been looking for at the moment at the wheel of the 42 Racing Shadow. But of course, a quick lap time in this race, that sets the grid for race number 2, so you've got to keep pressing on. So through has gone Nave Talor. That's 11 laps completed. Lead advantage is above 6 seconds now for the first time, and it's now 3.3 seconds back to the number 50 car of Tobias Dauenhauer. Advait Dioda very much on his own now in 4th place. Vladimir Choices has not got the bodywork rubbing to the same degree anymore now, so I think the Citroën could just sort of settle down a bit more again now. You can just see that little puff of smoke as he comes up towards Erst. Completing the top 6 is number 27, which is Pierluigi Veronese, and Paul van Pollard completes the top 7 now, so that's the second place Chevy, I think. I think that's the second Chevy we've got in the field. That's the number 11 car that Stinis Longines brought towards victory lane in the EuroNASCAR Pro race earlier. So after Pole Van Poelholt in 7th, Leonardo Colavita in the number 9 car is going to be leading the rookie trophy at the moment. The Legend Trophy is going to be led by number 88, Max Lancer. And the Lady Trophy, you can see how close it is because there is no let-up in the pressure. Alina Leubniger has not as yet been able to thread her way through and past Ariana Casserly. But the two of them are absolutely together for the lead of the Lady Trophy. Fantastic racing. Cal Racing Machine just ahead of Solaris Motorsport. Who is going to come out on top? Well, we'll find out in another 4 or so laps time. And it looks so Alina Leubniger for the moment with a good run coming out of Boulderberg booked and gets the job done on the run in towards the braking area for the Jackie chicane. So the Austrian picks up the lead of the Lady Trophy at the wheel of the Chevy. And I'm afraid the Chevy from Cal Racing now loses a place in the hands of the reigning Legend champion, which is Ariana Casserly. And already the gap has increased quite a lot, actually. So I do wonder whether Ariana maybe has had a little bit of a problem, that she's tried to drive as wide a car as possible, but now she's been picked off by Alina Leubniger. It's just meaning that she may as well ease off the pace a little bit and try and coast the car home for championship points, because that's quite a sizable gap that's opened up in just a couple of corners between the pair of them. So that puts Alina Leubniger now up into 17th position. And where does that put her in terms of the rookie standings? First, second, third, fourth. I think she's 5th of the rookies that we've got in the field currently. Yeah, Ariana Casserly is slowing down a little bit. She's now just been lapped as well by Nave Talor, who for the 13th time bounces over the curbs at the cleaner chicane. And Ariana Casserly is pulling off in the background. You can see Ariana Casserly is retiring the car, so there was indeed some sort of problem. And since losing the lead of the Legend of the Lady Cup, Lady Trophy, she's now had to retire the car, sadly, a lap or so later. But for Nave Talor, he is on course for his first victory in this NASCAR Whelen Euro Series EuroNASCAR 2 division. First career win. It'll be the first career win, I think, also for not only Motorsport, but I don't think they've had an overall win so far over the course of their existence. So it'll be a team first and a driver first. And, well, there's still another lap to go at the moment, so anything could happen. There's traffic to deal with. There is Ariana Casserly's car, the number 54. As I say, I saw it in the background retire coming out of the cleaner chicane, and that's such a shame for Ariana, who has really now just handed on a plate the Lady Trophy win to Alina Leubniger, who is about to be lapped by our race leader, who is now onto his final lap of the race. Nave Talor was a star in qualifying. I don't know what they fed him for breakfast this morning, but it certainly worked. And is that Nave all the way through the gravel trap? It is. He's got all the way. No, that's not. That's Francesco Caristo all the way through the gravel trap. A white car. Battered bodywork, should have guessed. I don't know what they fed Nave in qualifying this morning, but it worked. He was so close to getting that first pole position. Just missed out to this car here, which was Vladimiras Choitsis. But whereas Choitsis has had a few problems in the race, some of his own making, some not necessarily of his, Nave Talor has just controlled it from the very first lap, really. He was leading by 1.3 seconds after just the first lap of racing. He now leads, starting this final lap, by 7.4 seconds, and it looks as though he is going to be the second Israeli driver to score wins this season in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, because of course his fellow countryman Alon Day has claimed wins in EuroNASCAR Pro, but in EuroNASCAR 2 it is going to be a first career win for Nave Talor, safely over the crest of Boulderback booked. Sorry, he's got one more lap to go after this one, I should say, because he's on lap number 14 at the moment. It's a 15-lap race. So Nave Talor just got one further tour of the circuit, and then he will be on course to head towards victory lane for the first time. And look at the sizable lead that he's got between himself and Martin Dubeck and Tobias Dauenhauer. Nothing to worry about. Some bodywork has strewn itself across the circuit. And there's number 2. That's Tom Krasinas, the Greek driver. Did a bit of racing in X30 karts some years ago, did Tom Krasinas. Now onto the final lap goes Nave. So now onto the final lap he goes. And for Nave Talor, as I say, he was leading by 1.3 seconds after just the first lap of racing, has controlled it from the front. I did say it'd be so intriguing to see whether his tyres hang on, because he'd done fewer laps in qualifying compared to most. He'd done half the laps compared to other drivers around him on the grid, and absolutely it's worked for him. And the other car that did very few laps in qualifying on its tyres is currently in second place, and that to me tells me something. So Nave Talor still with problems, bodywork being flicked up right into the windshield of the number 90 car, swerved around what is just fiberglass bodywork, so it would have been very light bouncing off the car, but it would have made a clatter and would have spiked the heart rate of Nave, who is dealing with the traffic beautifully well. Dives and past Eric Quintal's Speedhouse number 64 car to put a lap on it. And now he is just a matter of, what, 3 corners away really from victory, through to La Man Bucht, up towards Boulderberg Bucht, and then all he's got is the Jackie X chicane between himself and victory lane for the first time in his career in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. The 20-year-old Israeli turns his way out of the penultimate corner, and all he needs to do now is watch all the gauges, shift up through the gears, make sure that he's on the brakes at the right time as he heads in towards the Jackie X chicane. And it looks as though it is going to be a first career win for Nave Talor in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series for himself and not only motorsport. This is going to go down well on the pit wall, I would imagine. Nave Talor claims his first career win in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. Look at what it means to the team on the pit wall. And Nave Talor, who is a hugely likeable 20-year-old young man, is going to be absolutely over the moon with a win. Second place goes the way of Martin Dubeck, and third place is the championship leader, Tobias Dauenhauer. Advert Yoda claims fourth place as he takes the checkered flag now. Vladimiris Joitsis, oh, what could have been from pole position, but it's still a good points haul for him as he finishes in fifth place. Pierluigi Veronese will finish in sixth place. Paul van Poelart, I think, should be through in seventh place in the end. Leonardo Colavita, I think, will be the leading rookie home as well, actually, in what will be eighth position. And then we'll have to wait and see as to who else files their way through over the start-finish line. What a race, what a win for Nave Talor. And he will be hugely, hugely pleased with that one. The number 7 car, Martin Dubeck, finishing in second place. That's the car that would usually be driven by Loris Hazemans in EuroNASCAR Pro, but Loris is away and racing on the Roval at Charlotte this weekend, and announcements were made earlier on that Loris Hazemans is going to be doing a partial cup campaign next year. New team, Team Hazelberg, will be competing in the NASCAR Cup series next year. Joint effort between Tony Hazemans and Dutch entrepreneur Ernst Berg, who've known each other for donkey's years, those two, and Loris Hazemans will be driving a partial Cup schedule next year, including all of the road courses and potentially more on the ovals as and when he's NASCAR approved. So he will be delighted to get back behind the wheel of that number 7 car next time out, but all eyes at the moment are on the number 90. Congratulations to Nave Talor, who is waving to the marshals, and as he threads his way up towards the end of the lap, I could probably just confirm the results with you for the race that we have just seen. I'm not sure we'll get a graphic still, so I'll confirm the results verbally with you at least. The win goes the way of number 90, Nave Talor, with his first career win, and second place goes the way of Martin Dubeck for Hendricks Ford. It's another Hendricks Ford that's there in third, number 50, Tobias Dauenhauer. Fourth for Cal Racing is number 56, Advait Dioda, and fifth in the end for Academy and Alex Caffey Motorsport is number 1, Vladimiris Joitsis. Sixth for number 27, Pierluigi Veronese. Seventh place for only the second Chevy home is number 11, Paul van Poelart. Eighth place to number 9, Leonardo Colavita, who is also the first of the rookies home. And ninth place goes away of number 66, Simon Palat. 10th place was number 88, the Legend Trophy winner, Max Lancer. 11th place, the number 48, Yevgen Sokolovsky. 12th was number 2, Tom Krasinas. 13th was 89, Alberto Panabianco. 14th was the number 8 car of Paolo Valeri. 15th was number 46, Miguel Gomez, who didn't even do a lap in qualifying. 16th was 64, Eric Quintal. 17th, and the winner of the Lady Trophy was Alina Leubniger. And the last car to finish was number 42, Francesco Garisto. We had problems for Ariana Cassely, for Gilles Linster, for Levi Lintercantu, for Justin Kuntz, and for Melvin de Groot, who did all not take the checkered flag. But delightful scenes down there in Victory Lane. You could see what that meant to the team as soon as we saw that car come into the pit lane of Nave Talor. It is his first career win. It is also the first win ever for Not Only Motorsport, and that is going to mean one heck of a lot to both driver and team and mechanics. They're just trying to unplug him at the moment, and then we will wait for the nods up before we see our race winner down there in Victory Lane get ready to dive out of the car. So he's only 20 years of age, Nave Talor. His debut season in the series was 2019. He has not had the best of luck so far this year. He's been quick all season. His best finish was a 4th place so far this season. That came at Brands Hatch in the UK. Another couple of top 6 finishes. 6th place at Valencia, 6th place at Most, another couple of top 10s as well, one at Brands, one at Grobnik, but he's not been on the podium this year, and he's certainly not ever been a race winner before in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. And they always say the first one is the hardest to come by. Well, the way he qualified was impressive this morning, and the way he went about his race there was very impressive. Controlled it from the off. Nobody could ever get anywhere near closer to him. And then even with a few little scares and a bit of bodywork hitting him on the last lap, and back markers to lap as well, he just always controlled the pace, drove a very mature race for a hugely likeable 20-year-old young man. So thumbs up will be given in a few moments' time, and he will make his way out of the number 90 car. I'm hoping we'll be able to chat to him at some point, and maybe one or two other drivers, and we might be able to stay with you for the podiums as well. We'll have to wait and see whether we have to cut the stream a little bit early and head towards some of the support races here that are also being broadcast via the media. But we will certainly wait for Navetalo to jump out of the car, and let's have a quick look. We're stuck again. I think he's still struggling to get some of the radio communications undone. The team just being asked to come back in again. Thumbs up is now given, and Navetalo is going to dive out of the number 90 Not Only Motorsport car, and I'm sure there will be a huge cheer go up for a new race winner. It's the second new race winner we've had in EuroNASCAR 2 this year. Real breeding ground for people for the future, stepping up to NASCAR Pro and perhaps racing over in the States as well, whether it be camping trucks, whether it be Xfinity, whether it be full Cup Series. And Navetalo, I'm sure, is focused on wanting to do that. But for the moment, the first tick in the box is to go to victory lane with his first career win. And you can see that is going to mean one heck of a lot to him, and you can see already what it meant to the team as well. So yeah, delighted. Alan Day, his fellow countryman, comes up and gives him a big hug as well. Alan Day, a fellow Israeli, that is going to go down. There is Francisco Cini as well, the man behind Solaris Motorsport. Congratulations from him as well, and that is so good to see as well. Delight for Navetalo, and might just take a while before the crash helmet comes off. He's going to thank absolutely everybody, because it's not just this one race. This is a journey. This is a journey that he has been on for the last couple of years, trying to work his way up to the sharp end of EuroNASCAR 2. He's always been there or thereabouts. Hasn't always had maybe the luck that he deserved. And sometimes you make your own luck, and today was the day, really. As I say, it all started at qualifying, where he was on provisional pole position for the vast majority of the session, parked the car up in the pit lane, knew that he didn't need to go out there and set a quicker time because nobody was getting closer to him. Then Vladimir Choitsis got closer to him, took pole position away. He went back out to try and better the time, couldn't do it, but settled for the outside of the front row of the grid, and the fact that he'd only done 6 laps on his tyres in qualifying. Everybody else around him was on 12 or 13, or in the case of some of them, 15 laps in qualifying. So the lack of use on those tyres was potentially always going to pay dividends for him. And he is about to finally, I think, take off the crash helmet, take off the balaclava. And I can see that Andre is down there in the pit lane with Navetalo, who is, I think, yeah, just put the crash helmet back in the car, Nave. He's going to put it on the roof of the car. And let's wait for him to put on the Hoosier hat. And once the hat is on, it's time to hand you downstairs to victory lane and our race winner.
I'm here with Navetalo. Your first ever EuroNASCAR win, the first win for Not Only Motorsport, the second Israeli to join the victory lane. I think this is a pretty decent list. How happy are you?
I'm so happy. It's been a long time coming. I mean, since 2019, I tried. Now this season I feel a lot more confident with the car. And the team, Not Only Motorsport, gave me a great car. So I'm so happy, and I just want to thank the team, my parents that allowed me to do this, and also my girlfriend, Shillian. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm really happy.
Is this maybe your breakthrough?
Yeah, I think this is my breakthrough. I'm ready to continue this form, and yeah, let's go get some more wins.
All right, then see you next time in victory lane.
Yep, thank you.
There we go. Good to hear from Navetalo. He will continue to receive the congratulations from everybody there, and will then, of course, make his way towards the podium, for which, at the moment, I gather we are going to... There is the CEO of EuroNASCAR. Jerome Galpin just also going up to thank his driver as well. And there's Advite Diodar's spotter as well. And he will be hugely pleased, like he was for Advite earlier on this season, that, you know, that's another driver that we've added to the list of all-time winners. There aren't that many race winners in EuroNASCAR 2 that stay there. Most move up to EuroNASCAR 1. So actually on that grid, what do we got? We've got Advite Diodar, Martin Dubeck and Tobias Downhauer. I think the only 3 drivers that have previously won a EuroNASCAR 2 race, and of course they've all won this year, because everybody else that's claimed lots of wins, like, you know, say Thomas Ferrando and Stinis Longines and Lasse Sorensen and Vittorio Garelli, they all move up to EuroNASCAR Pro and then either stay there or move on to other things. So this is the breeding ground. This is what creates new winners. Let's send you back down towards the pit lane and another interview.
I'm here with Legend Trophy winner Max Lanza. Just talk us through the race. Was it good?
Yeah, I'm happy for the winner of the Legend Trophy, but I'm disappointed for the overall, because I was in P7 and a little contact in race with I think P8 just ruined my race. And but for the Legend Trophy, I'm very happy. I can manage the first position in the championship, and good. See you for tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much. Grazie mille, Max Lanza.
There we go, there's Max Lanza. As he said, yeah, disappointed. Contact between himself and Simon Palat. Simon did finish ahead of him in the race, but for Max Lanza, yeah, he's leading the Legend Trophy standings. So to claim a win in the Legend Trophy in that race, again, just strengthens his position in the overall standings for that one, because himself and Yevgen Sokolovsky, the Ukrainian, are fighting over that at the moment. There's actually only 8 points between them going into that race. So for Max Lanza to be first home in the Legend Trophy and Yevgen Sokolovsky be second home in the Legend Trophy still keeps it really, really, really tight. And that's what we like. That's exactly what we like. The drivers don't. They want it stitched up as soon as possible. From a neutral perspective, and a spectator perspective, absolutely, we want the championship to stay alive as long as we can. I think we've got another interview, so let's hand you back down into the pit lane and Andre.
Yeah, we see.
Right, no, sorry, we're not going to get the chance for that interview. Apologies, because I think we are now starting to move towards the podium presentations for round 9 of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series EuroNASCAR 2 division. If you were with us earlier, 3 in the Legend Trophy onto the podium. So that will be the podiums that are taking place. Unless I'm told otherwise in my ear, we will continue with the pictures that we're receiving and bring you all of those podiums. As I say, I apologise in advance if we have to cut our footage short, because there potentially is another race going out on track, and those do need broadcasting elsewhere around the world. So the podium is ready. And then once we have got all of our drivers behind the podium, the VIPs are poised and ready as well. It looks as though we're about to get our first podium presentation underway for round 9 of the championship. And up onto the podium, finishing in 3rd place, goes Tobias Downhauer, still leading the championship. Good haul of points for him still, an extra 34 points to add to his tally. 2nd is his Hendricks teammate, Martin Dubeck, who finishes in 2nd place, who lies 2nd in the championship standings. But the top step of the podium, and a first career win for him and the team, Not Only Motorsport as well. Nave Talor goes not just to victory lane, but to the top step of the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series podium. And we will also have the team representative from Not Only Motorsport onto the podium as well. And now I'm sure it will be time in a few moments. There's the team representative from Not Only Motorsport onto the podium as well. And now it is time for the national anthem of the winning driver. So there we go. The national anthem completed for our driver on the top step of the podium, Nave Talor. The trophy's now about to be presented. And first of all, we will see the trophy presented to the third placed driver. So Tobias Dauenhauer receives his trophy for finishing in third position. Congratulations to Tobias Dauenhauer. Second place goes the way of Martin Dubeck. So Hendrick's cars third and second in the race, but the top step of the podium and the first winner's trophy ever in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series for Nave Talor claims the win. Congratulations to him. The trophy also being presented to the team member as well, representing not only motorsport on the podium. And then with all of the trophies having been distributed, it's time then to gather up our drivers, no doubt, onto the top step of the podium. We're going to do photos first, guys? No, they're going to enjoy the moment, I think, first. So everybody quickly escapes the podium. We haven't got any photographs done, so I'm sure the official photographers down there will put right what has just happened there. But I think everybody, rightly so, just pleased to enjoy the fact that there's another name on the podium. Nave Talor, maybe not quite as well versed with the champagne as Tobias Dauenhauer or Martin Dubeck, but eventually gets the cork out and enjoys the moment. And then we will hopefully get a few photographs taken and we'll clear the podium. Nope, they're heading off, ready for our next podium presentation to take place. And then we'll wait and see as to who we get next up onto the podium. Whether it's going to be the Legend Trophy, in which case it will be Paolo Valeri, Yevgen Sokolovsky and Max Lancer, or is it going to be the Rookie Trophy, in which case it will be, I think, Alberto Panebianco, Paolo Valeri and Leonardo Colavita. So podium is just being redone, and then we will await our next batch of drivers up onto the podium. And as they head onto the podium, that looks like that is Paolo Valeri to me. So yeah, up onto the podium he goes. There is Yevgen Sokolovsky. Well, he was going up. He was told to turn around and head back down again. Is he going up? Let's have a look. Is it me? No, it's not. Can I go? Should I stay? Right, Valeri is definitely on the third step. Who's heading to the second step of the podium? Right, okay. Something has happened, right? Okay, something has happened. I'm just going to see whether there's any further information I can bring you with regards to what may have just happened there in front of us. And let's just have a quick look. Alberto Panebianco is showing us second, and Leonardo Colavita is, I think, right. Okay, so Yevgen Sokolovsky is going there. Right, the piece of paper that, yeah, I can understand what's happened there. It matches with what I was expecting, but I can totally understand why there was confusion on the podium there with a notification that was issued. And then up onto the top step of the podium, there is Max Lancer. So confusion sorted out. That's the right drivers on the right steps as far as I'm concerned there. So that is what I was expecting. It was clearly not what the drivers or the people organising the podium were expecting, but problem averted. Receives his have a with the podium almost having been done and dusted there. So there goes Paolo Valeri. They head off the podium, and now it should be our rookies that are next up. And the rookie podium should be Miguel Gomez, Alberto Panebianco and Leonardo Colavita. That's what I'm expecting. I'm not going to look at the bulletin that was issued. I'm just going to go with what I would expect it to be. It would be, no, it wouldn't. It'd be Alberto Panebianco, Paolo Valeri and Leonardo Colavita. So there goes, yeah, back onto the podium goes Paolo Valeri, just on the step that he's just vacated. Then we should see next up onto the podium Alberto Panebianco. And then the top step of the podium should be Leonardo Colavita, who has had a solid weekend's work, really. So the youngest driver in the field, and good to see Leonardo Colavita out there and doing so well. He's done a lot of kart racing in the past. Whilst Italian by birth, he's lived in the US for a very good number of years. Joined the Club Challenge previously, has raced in the esports series as well in the past, and family business is olive oil distribution, but yeah, always good to see him out there. Final shots being taken of our rookie podium, and then we should move on to the Lady Trophy. And it was a great battle that we were having, wasn't it? We picked up on the battles that were going on in the Lady Trophy, where Ariana Kasseli was fighting away with Alina Leubnegger, and then was eventually unpicked from the lead of the Lady Trophy and retired. What was it, a lap later, really, wasn't it, that Ariana retired? But Alina Leubnegger should be our winner of the Lady Trophy, and will be heading up onto the podium in just any second now. We will see that for Alina Leubnegger. But the sun is starting to set on what has been a great first day's racing here at Circuit Zolder. We are awaiting the arrival of Alina Leubnegger onto the podium, and this will be our last podium action of the day. So all of the dancing people on the podium, and there goes Alina Leubnegger. It's up onto the top step of the podium as a win in the Lady Trophy, and it wasn't an easy one either. A hard-fought win for the Austrian, who has up onto the top step of the podium. Big old smile on Alina's face, which is always good to see. Beaming smile in her rookie year. Does a great job at the wheel of the number 12 Solaris Motorsport car, the 26-year-old Austrian. Remember, pure racing. It's a 4-speed H pattern, no ABS, no traction control. They are brutish cars to deal with, and Alina has mastered it again and picks up the win in the Lady Trophy. And that is the final trophy presentation of what has been a great first day's racing here at Circuit Zolder. But we will do it all again tomorrow when we see more racing taking place, with round 10 of the two respective championships taking place. We are due to have our EuroNASCAR 2 race go green tomorrow at 11:20 in the morning Central European time. The stream will be going live about 30 minutes prior to that. Our EuroNASCAR Pro race, green flag drops at 16:20 Central European time. Again, we'll be going live about 30 minutes prior to that. But from everybody here at Circuit Zolder and the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series, we hope you've enjoyed day one of racing in our final race weekend of the regular season. But don't forget, you can join us tomorrow. So from myself, Mark Whelen, until tomorrow, it's goodbye.